Top of the top, y'all. It's your boy Show tapping in today. And over the last couple weeks, I have made a few videos on how to fix and flip your first property, even how to get funding for that first fix and flip deal. But today is the most important video. If you don't have a deal, or you don't know where to start to even figure out if you have a deal, if you don't know how to run your numbers. Knowing your numbers is the most important component to real estate investing, and today we're going to talk all about it. I'm going to walk y'all through step by step how I comp properties for our company. Now, we do mostly wholesale, but I also fix and flip a lot of properties with my wife, and so I run the numbers the exact same way. All right, doesn't matter, and I'll kind of give y'all a distinction between if it's a wholesale deal or if it's a fix and flip deal. We'll go through all of the details. I'm going to actually comp a property live, a property that I have picked up via wholesale and sold to an end buyer. And so I'm going to go through all of that with y'all today, man, step by step. And it's going to be really important to pay attention because there are a couple ways to run comps, and it's going to depend on your access and your resources. Okay. Now, for me, I have MLS access, and the MLS is the multiple listing service, the same service that realtors and brokers use to list and comp properties. I have access to that through a broker that I have a really great relationship with, and what she has been able to do is allow me unlicensed access to the MLS, and it's free of charge for the broker and it's free of charge for me. So no harm, no foul. I just have a really good relationship with the broker, and so now I have access to the MLS. Now you might be scratching your head thinking, do I know any brokers? Really think about it. If you don't, get back in the networking field, try to find some brokers. I don't know if real estate agents have the ability to do this if they're not a broker, but it's worth asking, if you have those type of relationships. But if you don't have MLS access, don't worry, because there are a few other resources that you can use, both paid and free, that I'm also going to walk through in this video. There are no excuses, all right? Today, we comping properties, and you're going to know exactly what to do when you run across that first investment opportunity, y'all. Let's tap into it. All right, y'all, let's get right to it. So first thing we're going to do is go to our property. Now, I put this address here. This is a deal that we have already picked up, wholesaled it, and it has closed. Our new buyer is currently remodeling this property, but I'm going to use it just for the sake of this video. Now, this is our CRM system, and I recreated this address just because I didn't want y'all to have the seller's name and phone number, the buyer's name and phone number, and have all of our notes over here like we would typically have. I want y'all to only be focused on the comps, and so that's what we're going to do today, y'all. But this was actually a radio lead, and this is my radio phone number. If you got a deal, call me. So what I like to do after we put it in our CRM is I like to go to Zillow, and I'm going to get the beds, baths, and the square footage, and I'm going to put that right here in my CRM. All right. So subject property was a 3-1. How many square feet was that? 1495. Okay. So now I have this information, all right? So this is very key when we talk about comps, because we want the comparable properties that we're looking at to have the same type of characteristics of our property. So we wanted to have similar number of bedrooms, a similar number of bathrooms, and be similar square feet. Now, typically, the rules that we like to use is it can go up or down in bedrooms. So this could be, so my comparables could have 4 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms. It can really can't go down on a bathroom because this one only has 1. The house gonna need a bathroom. But if this was a 3-2, it would be okay if my comp was a 3-1 or a 3-3. All right, if that makes sense. So you can go up or down 1 when it comes to the bedrooms, when it comes to the number of bedrooms and the number of bathrooms. All right, so keep that in mind. And then on the square footage, we like to try to stay between 300 square feet. All right, we have a 300 square foot range. So my comparable property could be 1,795 square feet or as small as 1,195 square feet. All right, so we try to keep a 300 square foot range, but that's in a perfect world. We don't always find the perfect comps. So sometimes you just have to make adjustments as necessary. If you can only find comps that are 1,900 square feet or 2,000 square feet, then use those. But you also want to notate that your sale price may be a little lower because this is a smaller house, right? So if all the comps that I found were 2,000 or 2,100 square feet, but they were still 3 1s or 3 2s, then I could potentially use those. But if their sale value was about 300,000, I might figure that mine can sell for about 270,000. All right. And that's just me coming off the top of my head. There's no formula on those numbers, guys. I'm just saying that to say if your comparable properties are larger than yours or have more amenities, more bedrooms, more bathrooms, then your property will sell for a lower amount. Okay. So keep that in mind. But I like to put that information right there. And now what we're going to do is go to the MLS because that's what I told y'all that I use to run my comps. And so we're going to go right over to the MLS. I'm going to go search residential because this is a residential house. If this was land, then I'd go here. If I was looking for rental comps, then I would go to a residential lease, or rental comps for commercial, I would go to commercial lease. But today we're looking at residential property. And so we want comps for residential. So I'm looking for closed properties when I use the MLS, okay? Because that makes it a solid comp. It actually closed and sold at that price, okay? Now, ideally, you want to stay within the 90-day time frame when looking for comp properties. You don't want properties that sold 6-8 months ago because the market changes so rapidly, and we want to keep that in mind, okay? So ideally, we want our comps to only go out 90 days or 3 months. Again, if you cannot find comps within that 90-day period, it is okay to make adjustments, but try to keep it as tight as possible. So if I could not find comps in 90 days, then I would change this to 120 days. If I couldn't find any in 120, I would go to 150 days. If I couldn't find in 150, I would go to 180 days. And notice I'm just using 30-day increments here, all right? But I'm going to go back to 90 because that's what we're looking for. And I will also keep the active tab on just because I want to see, what homes are active in the area and what those are listed for. So 827 Ivywood Drive. That pops up right here. And then the total square feet. So our home was 1,495, about 1,500 square feet. So I'm going to put 1,800 and then the minus sign. So that lets the system know that I'm looking for comps for 1,800 square feet and under, okay? We got 15 matches right here. Since we have so many, I'm going to take off the active comps and just look at the closed comps and see how many we have. We still have 9. So majority of these comps are closed and not active. So now I won't even use the active criteria because I have so many potential comps that have already sold. So let's go to the results, all right? And over here is going to tell you that physical information that we put in our CRM. So it's going to give you the beds and baths and the square footage. So this one is a lot smaller than my property, so I would not use this as a comp. And by judging from the price, this probably sold as is. And we're not looking for as is comps necessarily. We can be looking for as is comps because that will give us an idea of what other investors are paying for similar properties. But you know what? We actually will go through those. So 928 square feet. So everything here is similar square footage to my property. All our properties are 3-1, so they all fit within our 1 up or 1 down category. So 4 2s, 3 1s, 4 1, and then the price range. All right. So I'm going to guess that these first few right here, from 150 to 95, these properties sold as is. Probably sold at these. They just may have been well maintained, and these are the actual comps that we're looking for. But we'll go through it. And you can see here the subdivision. So you ideally want to have your comps in the same subdivision as well, okay? And so you can see the subdivision name here. These are all in the same area. And I know that because our property ends with Ivywood. There's another deal here that ends in Ivywood, and it's in Polk Terrace. And as you can see, the streets ending in Wood it's coming here, but let's go to the property. So you want to click on this right here, the MLS number, to pull up the property. It's going to give you all of the information about this property, okay? The list price, the original list price, and then the close price, which is what it sold for, is going to give you the date that it closed on. This is very important because, again, we're looking for deals that sold within the last 90 days. It's going to tell you how long it has been on the market. So DOM means days on market. How long did it sit on the market before it was actually bought? And the less days on market, the better if you are looking to flip the property. That lets you know that properties in this area are selling really fast. And if you're flipping properties, that is exactly what you want, my friend. All right. So property description is going to let you know if it's an as-is condition or if it's sold remodeled. And then ideally, there will also be pictures here. It's going to tell you the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms, and the square footage. Okay. So let's take a look at this. Now, this sold in the same area as ours. We know that because of the neighborhood it's in. The street ends in Wood, and it's the same zip code as ours. But I can tell right here, this house has some fire damage. It's even taped up, got caution tape around it. So that's going to let us know why this house sold for $80,000 or $95,000, okay? But let's read the description because it's also going to tell us. Calling all investors. This is a key word when the MLS listing is being sold as is and will need a lot of work. If they're looking for investors, that lets us know this is an as is sale. This home has very significant fire damage and should likely be treated as a lot that needs to be cleared. So they're saying this is a potential tear down. Being sold as is. Seller does not have a survey. So that lets us know this is an as is sale, but I would not use this as a comparable, even as a as is comparable, just because our property does not have fire damage. So we're going to skip over this comp right here. Okay. So we're going to go next. This house, 923 Deerwood, same subdivision. House ends, street name ends in Wood, same zip code. I know it. This is the same area. Okay. So let's look through this. Okay, this was a home that was sold as is. And it was sold for $150,000 this month in March. So this sold recently. So I would use this as an as is comp. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, square foot is good. Beds and baths is good. Let's read the description. So many possibles here with a little TLC. This could be your dream house. Okay, so TLC is another key word for as is home, one that has not been remodeled. Even though the pictures tell us that, we still want to get every indication that we can about what's going on with this property. And then again, it says as is, okay? So as is comps, even though they are not remodeled comps, still give you an idea of what homes, what investors are paying in the area. And since you are an investor looking to buy an investment property in the same area, that is key information for you. So I'm going to take that information, 923 Deerwood Drive. And this is how I enter my comps. Okay, I put the address, I put the sold price, so you can see, and then I separate it. How many beds and baths? It's a 3-1. And it's 1184 square feet. So I'm gonna put 184 square feet. And then when did this sell? It sold in March of 24. I already noticed that. So these are all the things that I'm going to include when I'm running comps. Doesn't matter if it's as is or if it's a remodeled home. I want the address. I want the price it sold at. I want the beds and baths. I want the square footage and how recently it sold. All right. So this is a very good as is comp. So right now I know that investors are paying $150 for similar as is properties to this. So I know $150 or anything under that could potentially be a good purchase price to pick this deal up at. All right. So that's that. We got one as is comp, but we still want to keep looking. Okay, Woodshire. This looks like it could be an as-is sale. And look at the pictures. This is an as-is comp as well. Okay, so this is a list price, but what did it actually sell for? It actually sold for $169. That is great. All right, and so let's read the property description. Selling selling as is. There's another one of those keywords, all right? Home needs some updating, but will make the ideal investment property or home for a DIY family. Again, this lets you know this is an as is property. So I'm going to add this to my as is comps. 7825 Woodshire. But this, now it doesn't end in Wood. It starts in Wood, has the same zip code, and shows me that it's in the same subdivision. Okay, so I know I'm good. And what I did not point out earlier, this right here, all right? So when we're searching for properties, we want properties that are typically in the same subdivision, but when we're looking on the MLS, we want properties that have sold within a half a mile from our subject property, because if the house that sold is too far away, it might not really be comparable, because neighborhoods can differentiate in price hugely just from crossing the street. So you want to make sure this is the same type of home in the same type of area. When you're running your comps, we like to do only as far as half a mile. But again, if we couldn't find any properties within half a mile, I might go 1 mile out and just look at the similarities between the homes. Okay. So let's go back. So we have another as is sale. And what was the address? Let me go back. 7825 Woodshire. How much did that sell for? 169. It's a 3-1. It's 1270 square feet, and it sold in January. Okay. So let's see what else we got. This sold for 180. Okay. And it looks like a as is sale. Okay. This is not fully updated, but it's well maintained. So you can see it's clean. There's new paint in there. Cabinets look good. It's new carpet. So it's not fully updated to a modern home, but it is well maintained in good condition. I'm not going to use this as a comp because I'm looking to pay for a house that needs some work in as is condition, and I'm looking to base my comps off of homes that have been fully updated recently. Okay. But let's read the description. Discover this charming and refreshed 3-1. It was refreshed, which just lets you know they put new carpet and new paint in it, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking either for a home that needs a lot of work selling in as is condition to use as an as is comp, or we're looking for homes that have been fully remodeled. Okay. So I'm going to skip over this one, even though it's in the same area. Okay, Racine, this sold for 229.5. Let's see, has this been fully updated? Okay, this has been updated. This has been updated. Now let's see. Let's read the description. Come check out this 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, great starter home or nice rental property. This home has had some upgrades, such as carpet. So this is not a full remodel, but it has had some updates. All right. Now let's keep looking to see if we can find a full remodel. If we can't, I will just use this as a comp. Okay. 821 Clearwood. This looks like a full remodel. I can tell from the outside. They painted the exterior. New floors, cabinets, okay, appliances, bathroom. This is a full remodel. This is what we are looking for. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Must see beautifully renovated home. Okay. You're welcome with a modern open floor plan and no carpet. You see how they put no in caps? Carpet should not be in brand new, fully remodeled homes. Not right now. That's just my opinion. So that's how I knew that last property on Racine was not a full remodel, because they had carpet in it. Look. Yes, nice laminate wood flooring, but carpet in the bedrooms. That let me know. That's a no-no. But this is in our area, right? Clearwood, same zip code, same subdivision. So let's add this to our comp. So we have our as is sale comps. That's good. We ideally want 3 comps, all right? At least 3. It can be as is and this, or all sold comps, whatever. You ideally want 3 to get a gauge on what your house may sell for. So 821 Clearwood, and it sold for $250K. And this was a 4.2, 1344 square feet. 4.2. What did I say? 1344, and it was sold in January. Okay, so does this meet our criteria for the comps we're looking for? Let's see. Within 100 square feet, up one bed and up one bath. All right, so it's still the 1-1 that we talked about, and it sold in January, which is just 60 days ago. So this is a good comp for us. All right, same area, good comp for us. Now let's go to the next house, 722 Havenwood. So same zip code, ends in wood, same subdivision. What did this sell for? This sold for $255 in January. All right, everything's matching up. One extra bed, one extra bath. Square footage is just about 15, 16 more square feet than ours. This is a good comp, okay? Let's see. They fully remodeled this. Yep, new floors, new doors, new appliances, new cabinets. Let's see the restrooms. Did they update the restrooms? See some new backsplash. Yep, updated the restrooms. And let's see the description. Totally renovated 4-bedroom house. That's all we need to see. This is a comp, 722 Havenwood. And this is a sold for $255. It's a 4.2, $255K, 4.2, 1511 square feet, sold in January. Okay, let's try to get us at least one more. The more the better, but we want at least 3. 821 Ivywood. And this is funny. This is a house right next door to our subject property. And what's funny is we actually wholesaled this deal too. And I can actually show y'all. So from last year, and boom, here we go. 821 Ivywood. We JV'd this with our partner Bruce. We closed this on October 13th, and we made $14K. But he also made $14K. So we split this 50%. This was a $28,000 wholesale deal. All right. So, and now we got the house right next door. So you can imagine that was also part of my negotiation when I talked to the seller. I said, hey, you see the house right next door that's been remodeled? And we did that. All right. So 821 Ivywood. We know this is a comp. It's literally right next door. Okay. And they added a bedroom to this house because it was a 3-2. So 821 Ivywood. And if you're wholesaling, you love when you're running comps and see deals that you sold that you can now use as comps. It's like, man, 250 sold for 259.9. Nice. Now 4.2. How many square feet? And it sold in March. This is 1308 square feet. Okay. And let's see. We got one more house on here. Let's see if it's actually comparable. Southport Drive. This sold for 263. All right, so 4.2. Square footage is still on par. Looks like a full remodel, but it is not in the same subdivision. So I'm not even going to add this. It has the same zip code, but it's not in the same subdivision. And you'll see actually that it kind of, you can tell it looks different from the other houses. I knew this was not in the same subdivision. Look at the driveway, the way it's built compared to these other properties. You know, it just looks different. You can tell all these houses in the neighborhood are pretty much built the same. They're like little rectangles. All right, so just check around the neighborhood, be able to identify your comps. But okay, that's it. We got 3 comps on the MLS. And so I'm just going to run the numbers here, and then I'll show y'all a couple other ways that you can run comps as well if you do not have access to the MLS, all right? So what I'm going to do to get the comps is I'm going to add up all of these purchase prices. 250 plus 255 plus 259.9, and that equals 764.9. And I'm going to divide that by 3 because I have 3 comps here. So you're going to add however many comps you find. You want to add up all of the sale prices and divide it by the number of comps you have. So since I have 3 comps, I divided it by 3, which gives me my ARV. And ARV is after repair value. And based on these numbers here, My after repair value is 254.9K. Okay, that is what the house can sell for. Now, as an investor, I want to get the house for at least 70% of the ARV. So 254.9 times 0.7 is going to give me 178.4K. Okay, but that's not it. If you want a deal, you have to also subtract the repairs. All right. This is how we estimate repairs. Now, this is how I would estimate repairs if I had no experience. Now, I will still do my due diligence, have a contractor come through, get an estimate from a contractor based on letting him know what my budget is and the type of repairs we wanted to do. But as a general rule of thumb, when I'm trying to figure out quickly, is this a deal or not, this is how I figure out the repairs. Okay. So if the house is a light remodel, and a light remodel just means cosmetic updates. It might need flooring, paint, carpet, new appliances, things like that. All right. I'm going to multiply the square feet of the home by 15. Okay. If it's a medium rehab, meaning all the same things as above, all of the cosmetics, but I also need to maybe add a bedroom, remodel the restrooms, and I might have to repair one of the majors. So I may have to put a new roof on it, just one major. And when I say majors, I mean roof, plumbing, HVAC, foundation. All right. So I might have to do one of the majors, which may be roof. So I'm going to multiply the square foot of the home by 25. Now, this is a full rehab, meaning I have to do all the cosmetics. I may need to add a bedroom or bathroom, all flooring. I have to do a new roof. I have to do multiple majors. So I have to do a new roof, update the HVAC system, new water heater, have to do some foundation work, and the plumbing needs some work. Now, this is going to be a full-blown rehab. Everything in the house needs to be changed. I'm going to multiply the square foot of the home by 35. Okay, that's just simple numbers. All right, depending on the amount of rehab, how extensive it is how I'm going to estimate my repairs. Okay, all right, y'all, for the sake of this video, since I actually know what type of remodel this home needed, we're going to say that this was a full rehab. Okay, so we know the square feet to be 1495, so let's add that up. We got 1495 times 35, because I believe this to be a full remodel, and we get 52,325. Okay. All right, cool. So 52,325. We'll say rehab is going to be 53K for the rehab. Okay. So now let's go back. Now let's go back to the calculator, because our ARV is 254.9, and then 70% of that brought us to 178,430, and then we need to take away the potential $53,000 that is going to cost us to rehab the property, which brings us to 125,430. Now, this number right here is what you should expect to pay for this deal for it to be a good deal based on the numbers that we have ran. All right. Now, like I said, you always want to do more due diligence by getting an inspection on the house, having a contractor come through. But this is a general rule of thumb. Now, let's see if this actually makes sense in real time. So we can sell for about 254.9. We know that makes sense because we have other sold properties right here in that same range. And then 125.4 per these numbers, 125,000 will be a good number to buy this house as is. Now, does that correlate with these other as is sales? Absolutely. In fact, according to these numbers, we could spend about another 25,000 to buy this house and it will still make sense. Okay. So here you have it, guys. This is how I would run my numbers on an investment property to see what I can pay for it to make sense. Now, if I were wholesaling this deal, now I want to get my fee out of this deal. So we don't want less than 10,000 on our wholesale fee, but ideally we want 15. So if I know I want 15, but no less than 10, and an investor will pay 125 for, then I know that my MAO, or maximum allowable offer, to my seller, if I'm wholesaling, will be 110K to 115K. All right. Because if I get it for 110, I know I can make at least 15 grand on this deal. So this is our maximum allowable offer on a wholesale. And this is our maximum allowable offer as an investor. All right. And that is how you comp properties the right way. All right. So this is how I like to lay it out, because I can see everything straight up and down: the beds and baths, the square footage, the prices, and then boom, it comes out to this. Now, on this actual deal, we locked this house up for $115,000 and we sold it for $135,000, and we made a $20,000 assignment fee. All right. And that actually fits right within these numbers. All right. Because when we sell a deal as is, we want to sell it for cheaper than what they could buy it for on the market. That's what makes it such a great deal for our investors. All right. And that's why we end up selling it for 135 and not 150 or 169. Now, let's get away from this, and let's say you do not have MLS access. We're going to exit out for this, and we're going to use something that you can use for free, like Zillow. Okay. So when you're doing Zillow, if you're looking for comps here, you're going to come down, and it's typically going to show you other sold homes right here. So this is a comp that we just used. Okay. So we can click on that. Here's another one, but let's keep going. All right. Because again, when we look at comps, we ideally want to look at sold, but we can also use active comps. Okay. And we can use active comps because these are homes that have been listed by a professional realtor. And based on the updates done to the home, the realtor has said, this is what I believe this house can sell for in this area, in this market. All right. So we have to use a professional's mind to be able to use active comps. But ideally, we want them sold. Okay. So we can click on 821 Ivywood. It's not going to give us the exact sold price on Zillow, but you can see what it was listed for and then it sold. So you can assume it sold somewhere near this price, and that's what I would use if I were using Zillow. Okay, I would use just this price where it was pending at, where it was listed at. All right, unless there was a price change, and then you will be able to see that as well. So to continue this, we want to keep on looking for other sold properties. Okay, 807. And you can see this sold date was March 2024. So we know that's within our criteria. Now this house sold, but it sold in 8/9 of 2021. So that's not going to work. So let's see if we can find anything else on Zillow in this area. Nope, that's the company we already used. Okay, I'm not finding nothing else on Zillow. So we're going to go to realtor.com, another free resource that can be used. Okay, so 827 Ivywood Drive. All right. So for realtor.com, we're going to want to scroll all the way down. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, here we go. So homes around this price in this area. So these are homes that are for sale. So these are for sale or active comps that we could also use. Havenwood, we know this street is in our area. Overridge Drive, maybe. Emberwood Drive, we know this property is in our area because of the zip code and the name of the street. So these homes are listed at 249.9, which is right in the range of the comps that we just ran. Okay, this is selling for 265. 240, 240. This is pending at 180, but we already know that this is probably an as-is home because look, it still got bars on the doors. Nobody want that in 2024. These are pending for sale. All right, so you can look at pending and active for sale listings to get your comps, and you would just want to click into here and see, is this fully remodeled? You know, the details we just went over on the MLS. Okay, but if you continue to scroll down on realtor.com, it will have sold comps, which is what we're looking for. It's going to give you the date, the bed, square foot, address, and the price is sold for. Okay, so this could be used as a comp, which we already have used. This could be used as a comp. Then these sold, but in as is condition. All right, that one sold for 160. This sold for 263. We already said it's not in our neighborhood. This was the burn down house. All right, Racine. We looked at that one. That's not fully remodeled, but you can use these sold comps and for sale active comps if you are looking on realtor.com. All right, let's go to another resource that you can use. Now, this is a paid resource, but anybody can pay for it. So you don't have to get access like you would with the MLS. And this is PropStream. This is a software that we use, but there are also tons of other softwares out there and platforms that you can use to run comps. So you do not have to use PropStream. This is just the one that we use, okay? And again, I run all my comps on the MLS, but sometimes we do use these other resources just to verify. And so I will go here, go to the address, and then go to comparables and nearby listings. If I were on PropStream, and then the same criteria. So they got the date range out a year. I know I don't want that. So I want to go from December of 23 till now. They already got my square footage in here. They got 600 range, but okay, yeah. So they got 300 square feet less than mine and 300 square feet more than mine, which is exactly what I said. All right. So, and the status sold, but we can put active and pending there if we wanted to. Minimum max on the bedrooms and bathrooms, property class, whether it was land or whatever. But this is also going to have sold comps for you. So Havenwood, then they also have another one on Clearwood, which is a comp that we use. So these other resources might not have as many comps as the MLS, which is why I use MLS, because it is a lot more effective and efficient. But if you do not have that option, these are other resources that you can use. And this is how we use them. And I would click on these properties and go through them just like I did in our CRM. I will list the beds, baths, the square footage, what it's sold for. And on PropStream, you just click on that sold property, go to MLS details. It's going to say sold, and then have the price here. And as you can see, this is estimated, but I would use this right here. All right. So there y'all have it, man. That is how you comp investment properties. I know that was a long video, but I wanted to walk y'all through step by step. Hopefully I didn't miss any details and y'all gained a ton of value. If that is the case, please smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I am going to continue to drop news you can use if you are an entrepreneur or real estate investor. I like to think of myself as a go-giver. I get the game, I go through the experiences, and then I give that game back out to hopefully help you shorten the learning curve and reach success in real estate investing or whatever it is that you aspire to do. We can all get money. There are no limits. We can do anything that we can think of. We just want to make sure we are thinking in a positive mindset, thinking all about the success curve, none of the negative curve, all right? But that is how you comp properties, y'all. Hopefully you are this close or right in the middle of investing into your first property, and the videos that you watch that I put out are helping you get closer to hitting that milestone, all right? But until next time, y'all, it's your boy Real Estate Show. I'm out. Tap in.